Peter, thanks for joining me today. You've identified a very large potential copper structure at El Dorado, 10 times larger than the diamond drilled structure at Yerbas Buenas. Can you talk us through what these numbers tell you about the potential of the broader El Dorado area?
Thanks, Alex. Look, we've always had a very good feeling about El Dorado. It's one of the reasons we chased it so hard in terms of acquiring the property. It's in the right neighbourhood, in the right region. It's got features which have always sort of pointed towards it having potential, as in artisanal mining. The first step was the drilling of Esperanza 1 drill hole in the Yerbas Buenas tenement. This is prior to acquiring El Dorado, and it showed us that these sort of structures identified by geophysics actually do contain copper sulfides. So the IP work, the geophysics we did in Yerbas Buenas, we got 2 to 3 hits, structures. Our first IP in El Dorado, we've gotten a massive hit, a massive structure. So, that's given us the confidence to keep going. And we've got another 2.8 kilometres of tenement to our north, which essentially haven't really been explored. So yes, there's lots of potential in the El Dorado area. And we're quite happy with what we've found so far.
So in your announcement, you reported a high intensity footprint of 1 kilometre by 500 metres with a mineralised halo twice that size. In layman's terms, can you just explain to me the significance of that?
I suppose in simple terms, the significance is that it's big. Probably no other way to sum it up. We're very, very happy with the structure that's been identified. It tells us there's a large mineralised structure underground there. Most likely mineralised. I mean, there's always a question mark against this type of geophysics, but as said, based on the Esperanza 1 hole, ES001, that confirmed that these things contain copper or chalcopyrite, bit of gold. We're quite happy that this thing will end up containing some copper. The halo simply represents a larger area of lesser mineralization, just in terms of slightly lower intensity. So yeah, it's going to be big. Whatever it is, it's going to be big. So yeah, we're really looking forward to drilling it.
I understand that surface mapping has also indicated 2 more large potential copper gold targets to the west that, as you mentioned, are yet to be tested. What sort of time frame are we talking about to test these targets, and can you talk us through the strategy there as well?
Okay, look, the intention is obviously to drill this one first and get a little bit of an understanding of its orientation. So we will be diamond drilling. That's going to give us a fair bit of information on the mineralogy and orientation of this structure. And once we understand that, we'll tie that together with the other information we have from surface mapping on these other 2 targets to our west. But if this first hole goes well, yeah, we'll start planning to attack these other 2 targets as quickly as we can, bearing in mind that, we have to go through approval processes, through the mines department, etc., to get approval to drill particular areas. But the intention will be within a month or 2 of the first hole or so that we'll go after these other 2 targets.
Now, finally, Peter, obviously this is a significant development for Freehill, but also from the perspective of improving your understanding of the El Dorado area. Now you've identified this large opportunity. In your opinion, does it recalibrate your expectations for El Dorado?
Look, probably again, it's worth saying again, we've always had a very good feeling about the El Dorado area and its potential. And this geophysics is just another step in the validation of what we've sort of always thought was a sort of high potential area or target. Look, there's a lot of features in the area that have always sort of pointed us to the fact that this thing would be a great area to explore, specifically for copper, but also gold and magnetite. And we got some really good results from our surface mapping and our channel sampling, etc. We followed a very logical progression of exploration in terms of the initial mapping last year. progressively more and more detailed surface mapping and structural mapping. We've got some great Chilean geologists that have enormous experience with copper exploration and copper projects, and we'll just continue to do that sort of logical exploration. But because it's a new area, we've got to put in applications to access the land. There's a process that you have to go through with the Chilean Mines Department. But look, we're going to try and progress as quickly as we can.
Fantastic. Look, really appreciate you coming on for a chat, Peter. We'll certainly be keeping a close eye on this progress, but understand it's a very significant development for you. So congratulations, and hopefully there's a few more on the horizon. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much for your time, Alex. That's been great.